I think a lot of guys need to hear this. Um, and it's about never allowing disrespect from your girl. Not even the slightest. Never teach your girl that it's okay to disrespect you. Even the slightest. Like even the smallest thing that, can seem innocent at times. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Do not ever let it slide. Always call out bad behavior. Whenever your woman does something that you don't like, you call it out. You tell her right away, hey, baby, I don't like this thing that you did yesterday or today or just now or whatever. And you let her know from the get go. Because if you don't speak out, you're gonna let her know and teach her that it's okay to disrespect you, that you're not worthy of respect, that your boundaries don't mean anything. You always need to call out bad behavior, even if it's small, because that small thing can turn into massive disrespect along the way. So you need to set the tone from the beginning of the relationship to never let her cross any of your boundaries ever. Always be super, super strict with your boundaries, even if it's the slightest thing. Just mention it, communicate with her, tell her, hey, baby, I don't appreciate when you did this thing yesterday or just now, and I don't want you to do it ever again. So I'll give you an example. I'm currently dating a Filipina. She's an amazing girl. She's perfect in every single way. She's everything I've ever wanted. Truly my dream woman. However, even she slips up at times. Even she has done things that I do not like, you know? And the first thing that I noticed with her, so I met her in Thailand back in February, and she lives in the Philippines, and I was in Thailand at the time. So we only had two dates. We obviously didn't enter a relationship that early. We were just talking, dating, all that, and speaking over the phone when she was back. Then I went to see her in April the 14th, and that's when I made it official with her. That's when I got into a relationship with her and I asked her to be my girlfriend. And one thing I noticed, I didn't really notice it back then because I was only there for a month, and then I went back to Sweden. I spent the summer there, and then I came back to the Philippines again in August. But something I noticed the second time I was there was that she wasn't very punctual. She was late at times, you know. When I told her be at my place at 7 p.m., she usually came at like 7:15, 7:20, sometimes even 30 minutes late. And I told her, baby, I don't appreciate that you're late. If I tell you to be here at 7, you be here at 7. And I let her know. I was like, okay, this is not good. You have a habit of being late, and I don't like that. You have to make sure you're on time. And it's kind of a Filipino thing. They're not super punctual. She's usually like that with her friends. They're all late. They're never there on time. They always kind of just show up whenever. So that's what she's used to. But I told her, I don't care what you do with your friends or your family or whoever you know. With me, you're always going to be on time. Always. You always make sure you're on time. And I taught her that. And she wasn't perfect after that. She kept showing up a little late at times. The reason for that is because, she didn't plan properly with traffic and everything. So she usually went out of her house like 30 minutes before. And that wasn't enough time to get to my place on time due to traffic and all that. So I told her, well, plan better. Don't blame other circumstances. Plan better. Make sure you get out of the house like 45 minutes before so you're never late. And then she started doing that, and now she's never late, right? So I let her know from the get go as soon as I noticed, and as soon as I saw that behavior from her, that it's not okay, because it's disrespectful, and I didn't like it. It's a small thing, but it's still very important to respect my time and never be late. And then there was another thing she did where, whenever we were out, whenever we were, speaking to, we were going to a restaurant or a hotel or a spa or wherever, and we had to, obviously communicate with the staff. She had a habit of speaking instead of just letting me speak and handle it. Because I like to see myself as the leader of the relationship. I lead, I handle all the things, all the errands, all the business, all the things that we do. And she just, stands there and stays quiet because I handle it. I'm going to handle it. So she had a habit of, speaking while I was speaking, or, speaking before me, and I told her, baby, just let me handle it. You don't need to say anything. Just let me handle it. Don't say anything. Don't be like that, okay? It's very annoying. I'm going to handle this. I'm going to do what I got to do, and you don't need to speak. So, it's these small things that she has done. It's not major. It's not really that big, but it's still enough for that to kind of trigger a domino effect and compound and get even worse over time. Because I want to make sure that I always let her know every time she does something that I don't like, that I do not let it continue under any circumstances. That sets the right tone for the relationship, it sets our roles for the relationship, and it sets respect. It's very, very important. So this is what I do with my girl. I always let her know as soon as she does something that I don't like, I let her know from the get-go. Because, girls have a habit of having some bad habits. Maybe they've been in a relationship before where the guy tolerated that. He just let her do whatever she wanted. I don't. I treat her very, very well. I'm very good to her. But at the same time, I'm very strict with my boundaries, and she knows that. So, a lot of guys, they let their girls get away with small things, and they don't understand how bad it is, right? They don't want to seem insecure. They don't want to come off as toxic or whatever you want to call it. So they let their girl do whatever they want because they don't want them to go to their friends and talk shit and blah 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 and all these things. And also my girl is smart enough to know that she's never going to talk about our relationship to other people. She's never going to take our problems to other people because what that does is her friends will have a negative image of me if she talks shit about me, and they will keep remembering that and talk about it even when things are going well. It's very easy for women to be in their emotions and go to their friends in the heat of the moment and talk shit about their man. And when that passes, and it will very likely pass because it's not that big of a deal, you have your arguments, you have your disagreements, and you want to vent to someone. When that happens, they're probably going to move on. The girl, of course, your girl, but her friends won't. They will still be stuck on that thing that she talked about a while back. And now they have a negative image of you, and they will feed her these negative thoughts about your relationship, and they will encourage her to leave you. And that's a bad thing. So she understands that she can never do that, basically. So like a lot of guys are afraid of coming off as like insecure, toxic, and all these things. So they let their girls have guy friends. They let their girls be out late at night and go to clubs and go party and all that. It's all retarded. It's all stupid. Don't let her do any of those things. Be very strict with your boundaries, and who cares what anyone thinks? This is your relationship. This is how you get the best out of a woman. When you let her do whatever she wants, she will eventually disrespect you. She will cross boundaries, and the relationship will fall apart. You will start resenting her. You will start fighting a lot of the time. And because you've set a poor foundation for the relationship, it will just be based on fighting all the time. You will just be fighting, arguing, and it will never go anywhere. And eventually you'll build so much resentment for each other that it will end. But if you set the right tone from the very beginning, that none of that shit is okay, then she won't do it. She will behave, and she will be on her best behavior at all times. So please, guys, do not be afraid to speak up and tell your girl what it is, that she cannot act in a certain way. It's very, very important that you have some boundaries, that you have some balls and a spine as a man, and you tell your woman what it is. Because then she's going to respect you more, she's going to listen to you more, she's going to love you more. Because a woman wants a man that can tell her when to shut the fuck up and when to not, overstep or do certain things. She wants a leader, she wants someone that's dominant. Any girl that says otherwise is a fucking liar. She's a fucking liar that's been brainwashed by, the feminist movement that we have these days, and, all her friends that may be single and encouraging her to be a fucking slut and be a fucking retarded ass bitch. Like, all these things are stupid. Don't fall into that. Like, if they want to call me insecure, if people want to call me toxic or whatever, sure, I can be that. Call me these things. I don't care. But I'm always going to stand my ground. I'm always going to make sure that my woman knows when she oversteps and when she does something she's not supposed to do, because it's very important. And I see a lot of guys just letting it slip and letting their girl do whatever they want. So please have that in mind if you get into a relationship, even if it's uncomfortable in the beginning, when you're obviously when you're in your honeymoon phase and you don't want to bring shit up, and it's very exciting and you just want to let it flow. It's very important that you call these things out, because it's not going to affect your honeymoon phase. It's even going to make it better. It's going to make your entire relationship better. You're going to love each other more. You're going to have a more fruitful and beautiful and wholesome relationship than if you just let shit slide, because that's going to turn bad eventually. So yeah, slightest bit of disrespect, call it out, mention it right away, and it won't happen again. You'll teach her that you're not okay with her doing certain things, and she won't do it. So that's it. Like that's something I think a lot of you guys watching this are going to need to hear, because a lot of women don't understand the things that they're doing. They think it's okay due to old habits, bad habits, and then they just carry that on into whatever new relationship that they get into, right? But it doesn't matter. Like, you let her know that this is the way, you do not disrespect me, and that's final. So guys, if you have a relationship right now where you're doing the opposite of that, and you're not really doing what you're supposed to be doing, then please think about what the fuck you're doing, and don't be the kind of guy that just lets your girl do whatever she wants. It's never gonna end well. But yeah, that's it. That was my little rant for today. And as always, I'll see you next time. Cheers.